Hello, my name is Shanti, CTO of Tpcs Tech. I'm going to show you how to automate your production floor with Tpcs. I'll cover the footwear processes today. So you will learn how to track the movement of pairs in your production floor from cutting to packing. And you'll get to know the standard document templates available in Tpcs to help tracking quickly and easily. You'll also learn how to use handheld devices to scan and record the work in progress. In our experience, our automation helps to save more than 50% of your work in progress tracking time and up to 20% of your rework and recut cost. You'll avoid last minute follow-up and you'll improve order fulfillment. So there are three major stages in production: cutting, upper making, and full shoe production. After that, it goes to your full shoe warehouse, from where it is packed, AQL inspection happens, and then dispatch happens. So these three major stages, cutting, upper making, and full shoe production, I have configured it in Tpcs. I'll show you the application now. So these are the operations: cutting, upper making, and finishing. Under cutting, I have three operations: upper cutting, lining cutting, and synthetic cutting. And then under upper making, I have preparation, upper closing, and kit making. Under finishing, I have bottom charging and packing. So this again depends. If you want to have more number of operations to track, you'll be able to configure. So let's first see the stage 1 cutting processes. So cutting process starts with a cutting slip, and then material issues with reference to the cutting slip, and then the production start and end of cutting is scanned with a handheld device, and all the cut components goes to the component section. So this part I will explain in Tpcs. So we go to PM, production management, and cutting slip preparation, new cutting slip. There are several options here: automatic size breakup as per the order ratio, single size per cutting, or automatic quantity per cutting slip, one cutting slip per one IO line. That means one IO goes to one cutting slip. So I'm going to go with this option, automatic size breakup as per order ratio. So this will combine, mix all the sizes in the IO in the equal ratio. So let's take one IO number 12. So it displays the style and the quantity breakup here, order quantity under different sizes, 200, 200, like under different sizes. Total quantity is 2700 pairs. I have not released any cutting slip yet, so balance quantity is also 2700 pair. Quantity to release: if you want to release some partial quantity, then you can do adjustments here. Otherwise you can release the cutting slip for the full quantity. And you have to give this information, quantity per cutting slip. So it depends again, some companies they follow 120 pair system, some follow like 200 pair system. So I'm going to go with this 120 pair system. And we also get the job card quantity. Suppose if you say 10 pair job card system, then the system will split the quantity as the number of 10. In one size, if you have number of sizes, so that when you split the job card, it will be like uniform 10 quantity. So I'm going to say like prepare and display cutting slip. So now I have this cutting slip numbers starting from 331 till 353. Okay, each cutting slip has 120 quantity. This is the total. Here is the size breakup. Under different sizes we have multiple sizes combined in one cutting slip. So our cutting slips are now ready. The next stage after preparing the cutting slip is to print the cutting slips. Let's go to this PM, cutting slip printing. I'm going to filter based on the IO number here. You can also do the filtering based on week number, production week, or particular product number. So let's filter. So these are the cutting slips prepared for this particular IO number 12. You see the size breakup and total quantity. And I'm going to print. Again, we have some options. I'm going to go with this one. Each option has different functionality. We can configure it according to your requirement. So this is our cutting slip. I'll open it in a PDF editor. So you see this cutting slip number 331, and this is the first slip. This is upper cutting slip. And if you go to the second page, that is also the same 331, but that is lining cutting slip. Page number 3, this is again the same cutting slip number 331, but it is synthetic cutting slip. So for one cutting slip, I have configured to print 3 printouts, so that you give the upper cutting slip to the leather cutter and the other lining and synthetic to the respective cutters. So this is the cutting slip number 333, again upper, lining, synthetic. Okay, this is how the cutting slip is printed, and the cutting slip will display the materials required for the particular operation. So synthetic cutting slip is displaying the fabric and foam. If you see, the lining cutting slip is displaying the lining leather, and upper cutting slip displays the upper leather. So the cutters will collect the cutting slip, they'll go to the stores and they'll collect the materials required for cutting. So the material issue is in the inventory module. I'll just give you a glance of item issue. So they'll select the store from where the material is issued, and then select the cutting slip number. Our cutting slip number is 331. So you will see the materials required for cutting along with the stock available, already issued and balance to issue. So you just tick materials whatever they are going to issue now and save it. The cutters, when they start cutting, they will scan the barcode. So there are 2 barcodes in the cutting slip, in barcode and out barcode. So they'll scan this in barcode to record the start of cutting, and they'll scan this out barcode to record the completion of cutting. I'll show you how this scanning happens using a handheld device. So here is a handheld device which has the application, and here's the barcode. There's a scanning button. So when they click on the scan button, the device has the scanner, so it scans and the data will display automatically, and they click on the save. This is a video. So now let's make a few entries in the sample IO which we are doing now. So I'll go to WIP tracking. This in the handheld device, it looks something like this. Okay, and let's copy the barcode number. This is the in barcode. So when they scan, this is how the cutting slip number will appear. Press tab and you see the size breakup. If you want, the user will scroll down and see the details, or he'll just save it. So now this particular cutting slip is in the cutting stage. Let's take another number, 332. Save. I'll show you the report. There is a report, production status report, there is work in progress report, and order status report. I'll show you this report, production status. filter this particular IO. Then our upper cutting, we have 240 pair, that is 2 cutting slips we moved to the cutting stage. Now let's say 331 is the cutting slip number. Let's record the output. Okay, now it says upper cutting output, and we see rework and rejection also. Since it's an output quantity, let's just book one rework, save. The same is reflected in the report. Out of 240, 119 we have received. There are other reports which will reflect this rework quantity. Now let's go to the next one, lining cutting. Sorry, this is a bit messy to copy and paste it. Okay, now it is lining cutting. Save. I'll record the output also for lining cutting output. Save. If we go to this report, we see upper cutting and lining cutting. So like this, like when we do different cutting stages, then input and output, and in that particular stage we can see it in the report. This is the same screen, which this is how it looks in the device. So with this, our cutting process, that is the stage 1 cutting process, is complete, and we will move on to the upper production, how the upper production is tracked in Tpcs. This upper production starts with a job card. So it will be a 10 pair job card or a 12 pair or a 50 pair job card, depending on the style. So the job card goes to the preparation. So if it's a 10 pair job card, all the cut components for the 10 pair are bundled, and then it goes to the preparation stage. So after preparation, it goes to the closing. So whenever the pair moves, it moves along with the job card, and the operator will scan the starting and ending of the process. So finally, after the kit making is done, then in the kit making stage, other components are issued. So whatever is required to make the full shoe, along with the upper, all the other components are issued, and a kit is made. So this kit will move to the full shoe line. So this is a video of the cuttings, the job ticket. Again, for the upper tracking, we suggest using a handheld device and the cutting slip printout taken from Tpcs. So it is very easy for them to track. No need for any additional person or an operator to collect all these job cards and record it in the system. The operators, whoever is doing the process, they'll be able to quickly scan, because the pieces move along with the printed copy of the Tpcs job cards, and the operators will have the handheld devices, so it's very handy to scan. You don't have to look for the desktop, and they have to move from their place to the station, the computer station, and then scan it. So it's very easy and quick. So I will show you this job card preparation and tracking in Tpcs. From production management, we have this job card. Again, go to new job card. There are options like single size job card or automatic quantity, which is to mix multiple sizes in one job card, or one IO will be released as one single job card. The operation stage here is upper making. For upper making, I am releasing job cards. Let's go with the same IO number. So for this upper making, I haven't released any job card, so it shows the total 2700 pair for job card releasing. I have to say how much is my quantity per job card. If I say like 12 pair quantity, I say prepare and display job card. So now it gives me like 12 pair job cards starting from job card number 815. Okay, so again these job cards will be printed. There are multiple options to print the job cards, different formats basically. I'll show you the formats. This is a job ticket, which is a compact format which shows the job card number and the job serial number. Job card quantity 12. I'll open this in the PDF editor, which shows the barcode clearly. Yeah. So again, this job card has two barcodes, one at the input stage, one at the output stage. And if you wish to scan, no need, if you don't want to scan the input and output separately, there are options to scan only output so that the input also automatically, taken. Or if you want, output of one operation is the input to the other operation, that also can be configured. For example, if the preparation output is the input to the closing stage. So when you scan output at the preparation stage, system will automatically take that as an input to the closing stage. Okay, so this is a job card printing, and again we have job card tracking, which is either by handheld device or with the system you can do. This is a job card tracking. So I will have to give the job card number. Again, if you go to the device size, it will be something like this. It looks something like this. And if you see the job card number, I've given the job card number and I have to choose the operation here. This is the code, operation code. So maybe, you can have this operation codes printed as a barcode and you can stick it on the machine or on the table. So the operator will first scan the job card barcode and then he will scan the operation barcode. Or for different users, they can also set this as the default operation. So when I log in, I will always see the preparation operation. So when the next operator who is in the closing line, when he logs in and use the job card tracking screen, he will see the closing operation. So they don't have to even scan this operation. Depending on the user login, this default is set automatically. So now if you see based on the job card and the operation, you will see the quantities displayed here. I'll save it. And the same thing we can see it in the report. Production status report. So it shows upper cutting, lining cutting, and then preparation. 12 pairs received in preparation. So now let's move the same job card to the next process. I'm going to use another browser with a device size. This I have logged in as another user who has very limited permission. So let's go to job card tracking and minimize the screen. So this is our job card now. We have to scan the preparation output. So it says quantity accepted, rework rejected. I'm going to save it. If we go back to the report, we see preparation in and preparation out. Now let's move scan the same job card to the next operation, that is upper closing. There is no quantity in the output because I haven't scanned the input. So first I have to scan the in barcode. In barcode will end with a 1. So save it. Then the same job card in the closing operation out. Let's go back to the report. So upper closing in and out. There are other reports also. There is a daily production. This is like a register. So you will see all the including the scan time, you will be able to see the details. So this shows IO number wise, style wise, upper cutting, in, out, accepted, rejected, even reason for rejection you can enter. We can include the job card number and the scanning time. So here's the time. This is the time they've scanned the in and this is the time they've scanned out. Let's sort it by time and date. I'm including the columns date, time, and then IO number, style number, so that we'll get the sorting by the date and time. Okay, so this is how we can see the details. And there's another report, order status. Let's generate for the same IO. It shows in which stage we have pieces. Cutting, we have moved lot of pieces, but from cutting to preparation we have moved only less pieces. So it shows 107 pair in cutting stage and 12 pair in upper closing. So this will give you a complete picture of the IO number, style, and what is the expected date, what is the delivery date committed, ready to deliver, delivered quantity, finished quantity, how much is in cutting, preparation, and upper closing. This is also an useful report. There's another report which is FG status report. This is the same IO number. So this shows like line output quantity, how much is the output from the line, and then packed quantity. Packed is ready for FG stores, and then ready to AQL. Once it is moved to the warehouse, then it will show as ready to AQL. Once it is AQL is ready, then it is ready for shipment notice, advance shipment notice, and then the shipment happens. So this is also another useful report where you see the status of that particular order. So these are the reports we have. I'll go back to my PPT. And we also have recut scanning. So in the line, in the upper making line or in the finishing line, if something goes wrong and they do recut, so there's a separate input screen where it captures the left side and right side pair. And also this is also again they scan and they choose the operation where it got rejected. Based on this we have a separate report to see what are the recut. So this recut will be used for further processes like purchasing additional material for the recut, and the system will allow to prepare another cutting slip for the recut. So with that the stage 2 is complete, and now we'll move on to the stage 3, that is full shoe line. For the full shoe line, that this is the bottom charging happens. There are two ways. Either you can use the job card process, release job card and then track the charging input and output the same way we did for the upper making process like preparation and closing. Or you can also do the tab device. You can use a tab With that you can touch the particular size and accept, reject or rework. You can do that. So since I showed you the handheld device for the upper making process, I'm going to show you the tab interface for the full shoe line. So for this, first there is a line planning every day, like what order you are going to do, take in which line. So for that, let's do a line allocation. I'm choosing line 1 on the 15th. For operation is bottom charging. Let me choose IO number. And you see the quantity is 2700. You see the sizes here. And then I'm going to save it. Sorry. Okay, so in the same line, if in case if they're doing another style also they can do. I'm also going to do line 2. For the same operation, bottom charging. Let's choose another IO number. So we have loaded like 2 lines for one day. So when they go to the bottom charging line, if the pairs are coming one by one from the line, then they'll go to this tab interface. Let me open the tab interface here. Under PM, this is line output. If you see, there are 2 lines because we have allocated to 2 lines. So they'll choose the line. So when they choose the line, it shows the operation, IO number and product automatically. If there are 2 IO numbers, then they'll see 2 buttons. So the operators can easily touch the IO number which they are recording the output, and then touch the size and accept. Suppose I keep getting 38 size 3 pair, I keep clicking 4 pair, and then in 40 I get one, and in 37.51, in 36 I get another one, and 37 I get one rework. So I know like what reason it's getting rejected. And they also see the total today's plan, how much is planned for this particular IO and how much they produced. And this one is again, say rework, accept. So this is how they will record, pair by pair output they'll be able to record. This is another interface which we have to record the production. So when they get the rework produced and they return, they choose this rework production and then they'll choose this one, accept. Okay, so this will be recorded as rework produced, regular production and rework production. So this is how the final full shoe line output is tracked. Let's see the report. But here I have not selected the bottom charging input. I'm not scanning the input, I've scanned only the output. If you want, like, we have to configure the scanning of input also. Let me show you the production status report. Same IO number 2021/12. So this is bottom charging. So they've scanned, using the tab device, they've recorded output of 13 pair. And for now, we have not configured any link between different operations, like only after closing, completing the previous operation, they should be able to move on to the next operation. That kind of control, if you want, we can configure. But most of the time, for some reason, if they're not able to scan in one stage, that should not stop scanning in the next stage. So we allow the process. So end of the day, they will see what process they have scanned and what is not scanned. And then they'll again, go to that particular operator if he has some difficulties. they'll train, teach him to scan and then proceed. So maybe in the initial stage it's a good idea to not link the processes and just keep it as a separate entity so that they can scan in all the operations. And once everything is settled down and the implementation is done, all the users are comfortable, then we can do all those kind of controls. So this is how the final operation is scanned, line output is scanned. After that, so this covers the shop floor from cutting, upper making to the final line. And we have this finished goods transfer node, wherein the goods are moved from the line to the warehouse or logistics area. And then we have packing slip, where they do the packing of packing into different carton numbers, master carton and inner cartons, which size goes into which pack. So once the packing is done, then it is ready for AQL. There's a screen to record the AQL inspection result. I'll show you some data which is entered already. So there is a batch quantity, how much quantity they've taken for inspection, how much is the batch quantity they're going to inspect, whether it is pass or fail. And there are parameters. This can be configured, different parameters can be configured. There is a master screen provided as the inspection report master, where I have configured like this. So different parameters, once configured, it will appear in the AQL screen. So they choose whether it is a major defect or minor defect, and then save their details. Okay, so the AQL is through. Then if when it is passed, then the next stage is to do the dispatch, shipment, delivery note. So with that, we cover the entire process from cutting to packing and shipment. This is a dashboard. Okay, this will display this. You can keep it as connect it to a TV and it will move like a slide. This is line hourly production data you get, and then this is production details, how much is total produced till now, out of which how much is accepted, how much rework rejected, rework completed, write at first time percentage, and parts per hour, production per hour. This is one calculation based on the manpower utilized in that particular line and the output from that line. This is very important, rework analysis. So due to which reason how many pairs got rejected. Okay, and these are the things. If you connect it in the TV, then it keeps changing like a slide one by one. Then the particular line, they'll be able to see what is their status. So now we have seen all the processes in the footwear manufacturing, starting from cutting, upper making, full shoe line, and then finished goods, packing, AQL and dispatch. I have showed you the display board along with other important reports. I hope you find this presentation useful to you. If you have any further queries, you may reach us at shanti@tpcstech.com or nixon@tpcstech.com. You may also visit our website www.tpcstech.com.